But it's also 5 in the morning when you call. 16 hours.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Cruiser Cat channel. This is going to be one of the hardest vlogs that I will ever record. I don't even know if it's going to make my channel. It is extremely painful, and one of the most challenging things I've ever faced in my whole entire life. Today I am standing in the store that my father owned. This week he unfortunately passed away, so we are here as a family. Even through COVID, we're going to try to stay as safe as possible, and we're going to have a small memorial / vigil for him today. If you can hear in the background, there's a lot of craziness and stuff like that. A lot of kitties running around, but it's all family. One thing I do want to point out is, as I said in my blog before, I was a former US Marine, and coming here, I saw this behind me or on the wall a while back, and I remember that I gave this to my father when I graduated from boot camp, and he's hung it up ever since, which just shows me that like he's really proud of what I've done. So yeah, anyways, hopefully this will make the vlog. I'm sorry I'm crying my eyes out. It's been very painful to experience it like this, but yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit. The neighborhood came together. We left these for my father. Okay. Oh, sorry, see you guys. I took the Jerry for a second. Okay.
If she has allergies, you put that on her, so don't bring anything with gluten or milk. Yeah. And then you can have it set up every other day so the food doesn't pile up.
Making my sign.
Her sister.
I know, I'm just
Do you really want to do the editing though? I'd rather have you just relax instead of like focusing, right?
Oh, you know, we should put lights and stuff. You get what I'm saying, right? We should put a Christmas tree, a Christmas light.
Lights?
Yeah, because I have it at home too, but oh well.
the street light should turn on. Plus we had that light that comes out on that too.
Oh, okay, that one comes out.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I'm like, how much? 10,000. And I'm like, dude, that's $100. I don't want those. And then Eli's comes in. Yeah, I spend that kind of fast. He was like, Mom, get mad at me. Mom, get mad at me.
This is my mom. Your mom. Yeah.
都做啊，对对，对啦，they can tell their story how they get.
Okay. Okay. Hey, let's move your stuff.
You're home from another stressful day at work. All you want to do is pour a glass of wine and listen to that one.
I don't have you two rib guys, I'm sorry. Lodi, what do you want with the speaker?
Yeah, we're gonna set it up over there.
Okay. Hey everybody. Oh, that's really loud. I'm sorry. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys all for coming out and showing support for my father. My name is Ku. I am his second son. My running joke to the family is I'm the son who's never around because when I was younger, I left for the military. My older sister, she was also a former Marine as well too. And then my younger sister here, she's currently serving in the Navy. I just want to say a few things about my father. I'm trying to start with a joke so I don't break down, but it's pretty hard. The few times I visited my father here, I remember, this is in terms of his name, and I was sitting next to him, and everybody who came in, it was like, "Hey, Calvin," and he greeted everybody with their name, right? But then I'm thinking for a second, I'm like, who's Calvin, right? And like, I mean, I was here for like a couple of hours, and everybody came in, "Hey, Calvin." I'm like, do they not know my dad's name? Like, what's going on, right? And then my father, I looked at my dad, I was like, "Dad, who's Calvin?" And he was like, "Oh, they call me Calvin." Anyways, that was how I found out that you guys called him Calvin. The second thing I wanted to say was that my father loved each and every single one of you guys here. During the whole mess of COVID, my whole entire family told my dad, "Dad, you need to close the shop, right? We're concerned for your safety. We don't want you to get sick and stuff." And my dad said, "No, I can't do that." He said, "I need to stay open." And we said, "Why?" And he says, "Because of my customers." He said, "All my friends at the store, I need to be there for them." He's like, "I'm here for you guys too, but I'm gonna be there for my customers and stuff." And he was here, okay? He worked to the minute he passed, he was here, right? And then the last thing I want to say is, my father, you guys know, he has the biggest heart anybody here will ever have and stuff. He's a firm believer in second chances. I heard stories of how, you know, you could be in prison, and when everybody turns their back on you, he'll go out of his way to give you support. He'll send you money that he doesn't have, right? He'll help you pay for bills. He did everything for us and stuff. And to my mom, his saying, and I'm gonna say this in my language and I'll translate afterwards, was, "Como sa yo yo," which was, if you want it, go get it. Because to him, it was gonna make her happy. And that was all he was about. So once again, I thank you guys all for coming out. We're gonna leave the floor open, so if anybody else wants to get up here and say a few words about my father, share your memories, share the good times you guys had with him, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
We had a lot of battles at first, but then we finally worked it out. Because, see, I think he thought I was bossy, but that can't be possibly true with a woman, can it? I don't know. But anyway, he had the masks, the first mask I ever bought. And here it is on my hair. I mean, my hairpiece. You guys aren't getting it, though. I just put it so you can see. The mask he had, it was made in, I think he got it down here somewhere. From the Philippines, I think. Can't remember all that. But so I bought about 10 or 20 of them, I can't remember, and handed them all out to the people that always come in here, which is St. Francis Manor, all of the elderly. And you're right, he was very kind if I need anything, and he would always help me with my ice, because we came over and bought a lot of ice, and it's hard to bend over at my age. And he always, his favorite line was, "I'm bad to the bone." Which you're all laughing, because you probably said that. And then I just kind of put this together fast, because I didn't even know until somebody told me that you were having something for him. And I called him Chew, and you're right, he told everybody different names, so nobody really knew his name. He gave me sunglasses, these heart ones, and I had a little dog that I was babysitting. So he gave one for the dog, and I put them on her. She was a little girl, and I used to take her on this walker around with me, and I brought her in to show Chew how she really looked at him. And I had to pop out sun part because she didn't like it. But then he gave me some, so, you know, and he doggy. And that was very sweet of him. And I was just thinking, what else? I got a lot of his masks. I bought most of my masks here. He started out real cheap. They were only $1. They even got up to $10 for a while there. How come you're doing this to us? We're old. Anyway, here's some of his masks. They look kind of military and stuff. I think that's why he sold them to me. And two more. But you guys can't have them because I bought them. Be selfish. So I got something to remember and buy too. Yeah, this plain one. And last but not least, this little girl's one. This is cute. And it's still, I can't figure out which mask I like. I have trouble with all of them, which I'm sure you guys do too. And I wrote down things that Chew and I would do to say to people when they came in, the customers did, and I lost the list. I wish I remembered where it was, but you know, senior moments set in, and I'm lucky I'm here. Okay, thank you, and I'll let somebody else talk. Bye.
Thank you. Let me help him with the mic.
Hey guys, I'm Gary. I live across the street right here. I've known Calvin for 20 years. Oh man. Sorry. It's kind of funny that you started off with a joke about his name, because I called him Chew for the first 5 to 10 years I've known him, and then all of a sudden everyone was starting to call him Calvin. I'm like, what's going on with this? And his wife was sitting there in the store one day, and she said, "Oh, everyone calls his, you know, pronounce his name wrong, and it's like the way they're saying it apparently was like a bad word or something." So I'm like, oh geez, man, would have been calling this guy for the past 10 years. But he's you know, I'd come out of my gate every single morning to ride my bike to work, and there he is up and down the sidewalk, and him and I had our little daily moment of like, "Hey buddy, how's it going, man? Have a good day, you know, take care." And he's just such a huge part of every single day. Every single day I saw him, every single day he was there. You know, he knew me when I was a single guy running up and down the street, and now he knows me when I've got kids, and he knows my little boys. You just don't get that anymore, and especially nowadays when everything is the way it is. It's so refreshing to have that much love, you know, in one spot, and we're gonna miss him.
Thank you.
That's okay.
across the street over there, and my I used to come over here for bananas for Sunday to make pancakes, and now I can't because he died.
Hi, I also live in the house across the street, and my sister, my mom, and I all go on runs whenever it was hotter outside, and he would always stop by and talk with us for our runs, and he would just, the conversation could go forever, and he was a great friend to my little brothers and always was welcoming them into the store. And, yeah. We're the Zitzman family, and we live right there. And my little brothers always love to come over here and talk to Calvin, just about random things. And one good memory I have of him is I came in here to get some candy bars or something, and he just talked to me for like an hour straight about my life. And yeah. And I was like, okay, I have to go home now because my parents are on a date. And I have to watch my little brothers. But he was a great man, and I'm so thankful to be able to share this memory of him.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Todd Clark, and I used to live, my wife and I lived at 2405 I Street, just 2 houses over, and we have a dog named Wallace that Calvin used to call the Beast. And because I'd tie him up to that pole right there when I'd come into the store. And for years, I've been walking, and we would see him, like Gary was talking about, every morning, and he was a special person, a special man. Everything was $5 in the store, though. Well, how much? $5. Everything. And I also wonder if, a lot of you, I'm sure, knew that Calvin was here all the time except for once a year. He would go deer hunting. At least that's what he says. Because every time I'd come into the store, did you get a deer? Nah. So, I'd like to know, did he ever get a deer? And he was great friends with John across the street that many of you knew too, and I'm hoping that they're both up there talking, and Calvin's selling him lottery tickets for $5.
Thank you.
My name's Tracy. I live down the street over there. I'm opening a new business, and I would come here about 6 out of 7 days a week. And he always was positive about everything right now, and always said, no matter what, Tracy, you could do it. Just do it. Calvin, come on. It's COVID. So when I got 100 likes on my Facebook page, I came and bought a $100 bottle of champagne. It wasn't quite that, but it was close. And he said, "You're gonna invite me to toast?" I said, "Calvin, you're always working. You gotta take a day off and come down toast." I toasted for the first time in 12 years with Calvin tonight. He was my friend, and I will miss him.
Kelly, family, anybody else?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lee, and I work at Fleet Feet Sacramento, right over past the alley. And I just wanted to come here on behalf of all the folks who work at Fleet Feet. We are DJ fans. We stop here pretty much, I would say, everybody in that store for years has come by and bought lottery tickets. the last time I saw Calvin was Sunday night. I got off at 5 and I knew I needed a bottle of wine. So I pulled up here illegally, as I always do. Always illegally. And I came in and he said, "What took you so long?" So I went back and I perused the cold wine and I selected a bottle and I stopped by right there as you get to the counter and saw the Twinkies and the Ho-Hos and the cupcakes, and I grabbed one of each and brought them up and sat them on the counter, and he said, "Interesting mix." And I said, "Just ring it up, Calvin." So he rings it up and I said, just curious, how old are these Twinkies? How old are they? He said, "Older than I am." And I said, I'll take them. But he was such a lovely, lovely man that when I had cash, he was always grateful. When I used a debit card, he wanted to charge me more to write down the amount that I got. I loved being a part of this. I mean, we were a part of your community, and he was a part of our family. So from Fleet Feet to Calvin's friends, his family, and everyone gathered here, we love him. He's watching over us right now, and damn it if he won't send me a bottle of wine tonight to toast him well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jonathan. This is my partner Gabriel. We live in the house with the robot down the street. And as you know, it's about a block and a half from here. And Calvin and I had many different ways of interacting. Of course, I first met him. He was the first person I met when I moved here in 2005. And if I wasn't coming in to shop, I was going for a walk and waving at him in the window. And occasionally, when I checked my mail at the house, I'd see him out here doing his exercises. And I'd do one of these. Yeah. Half the time he'd see me and I'd get a wave, and it was, it would make my day. Every time I saw him, it would make my day. And I know that everybody who knows him probably felt the same way. He was a friend. He was a friend to me and a friend to all of us. The thing that I like most about Calvin, and there were many things I liked, but this was the easy one, is the way he loved everyone, the way he treated even the least among us, the way he showed us that we can all love each other, the way we loved him and the way he loved us. And despite our differences, despite all of the various walks of life that we come from, we're all bonded together in our love that we shared with him. And that's his legacy, and that's what I will always think of every single time I walk by here or drive by here. And I hope that you can all do the same. And this is my partner. He has a funny story to tell you.
Hi. So he knew how health conscious I was, and I'd always come in and just really try to get a Pellegrino and leave. But sometimes I would come in and get a hot Cheetos, a Snickers, and some other candy bars, and he knew right away that I needed a shame bag, because he knew damn well I was not going to go out this door and holding my junk food. So he'd always just say, "One shame bag coming out, $5. And I really miss that sense of humor to him, because he always made fun of me for my snacking habits, and yeah, he'll be missed a lot. So.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm actually Todd's old neighbor. My brother's Gary, who spoke earlier, so I lived down on I Street for many, many years. And I remember when DJ Market was first sold to Calvin, and I was like, oh no, DJ Market's gone. And getting to know Calvin over the years, it was just such a good fit for our neighborhood and our community, and he became family. And it's pretty clear that he supported a lot of our gambling addictions and our drinking habits and vices, and he got to know probably a lot of stuff that we didn't want other people to see, like, all the junk food that we bought. But he also got to know us as individuals. Like, at the time I was living there, I was single, and it was Valentine's Day one day. And he could tell just kind of a little bit down, and he had these silk roses, and he gave one to me, and he's just like, here, happy Valentine's Day. And it really made my day. It like made me cry, but I held on to it for many years, and it's probably still packed in my boxes somewhere that I don't think I ever got rid of it, but we're definitely gonna miss him.
Your family.
Hi folks, my name is Jeff. I work at Fleet Feet around the corner with Lee over here, the jokester. Man, it really shows an impact someone has on people's lives with all these people here. You know, you don't really realize until, unfortunately, when this happens, you see all these people and how much Chew, I called him Chew. Did anyone else call him Chew? He told me his name was Chew. And then all of a sudden I realized just a couple of years ago his name was Calvin. Yeah, he's such an amazing guy. You come in and he'd always greet you with a smile and a joke, and he'd be playing his reed instrument, and he told me one day he's smoking marijuana. He's like, no, I'm actually smoking weed.
What?
Yeah. And so our store is a running, walking store, and he'd always ask about our business, and he'd say, I'm going to train for a marathon one day. And I said, well, I hope to see you, Chew. And you'd see him walking everywhere. He'd walk everywhere, and just an amazing guy, and I'll definitely miss coming in here. I've been coming here for about 15 years and buying lunches, cheap lunches, and he'd tell me, hey, is that lunch and dinner? I said, oh yeah, Chew, you know. So yeah, rest in peace, Chew, and rest in cheer, and I know you're looking down at us laughing and still telling jokes, and anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Jason. We lived at 2216 H Street from age 5 till I was 13. And my parents, who unfortunately they divorced, but they lived across the street from each other. They lived a block away from each other, and I used to go when I went visiting my father as a child. We would come to this store. We would visit, well, Calvin, I knew him as Chew as a kid. And I would come in here and he would mess with my brother and I, make jokes and laugh, and it was always a good time. It always put a smile on our face, and we'd come here about 3 times a week through our childhood, and it was just such a wonderful time. He was such a wonderful man. And even when I left the neighborhood and, you know, moved out of the area, I would still come back down here, and I would visit him every time I was downtown. Any chance I could get, I'd visit, all the way up until late last year. And you know, just to read this in the news, it just broke my heart. It shattered me, and I just want to thank him for being a part of my childhood and part of my life growing up as a kid, and part of my brother's life as a kid, because that was something very special to me, and I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart. Thank everybody for being here tonight.
Thank you. That's the other.
My name is Sarah. I live a couple buildings down. I haven't lived here for very long, maybe like a year and a half. And when we first moved here, me and my roommates, we thought his name was DJ, and it wasn't until like way later on someone was like, his name's Calvin. We're like, okay. But he was always just so happy, always waved, always said hi. When I would walk by with like dinner for me and my roommates, he would joke like, thanks for bringing me dinner. Did you save me a slice? And then if we were like buying alcohol or something, he would be like, are you having a party? And then it would make me feel bad that it was just for me. And so I'd be like, okay. But he was always just so like welcoming, and no matter like if I was having a bad day, his smile just always brightened my day. So he's very missed. And another thing too, like when I first moved here, whenever I met somebody who lived in this area, we would always talk about Calvin and how it's just like a mutual friend almost. So I hope if there's anybody that's like new to the neighborhood, like, you know, that he was very much loved, and he's still going to be a huge part of our community. So
Hello, my name is Jim, and my wife and I live around the corner on 25th, and Calvin took the store over, I guess, shortly after we moved to the area. So through the years, I developed a Diet Coke habit. And Calvin was my connection for Diet Cokes, both for the control and providing them to me, because I'd come over and just buy one at a time. So Calvin was my way of making sure I didn't get too many Diet Cokes and too much caffeine. But the running joke we had was that I was always tempted to buy lottery tickets, and I'd come up to the counter, and he had the machine right there with all the winnings on there, and I'd always say, "Calvin, any big winners?" And his answer to that every time was $1. So that was the thing we had going. But I also wanted to mention that I got to also know his wife C, because she works at Mercy McMahon, and I'd see her in here on the days when she'd let Calvin go off and do his hunting. And again, I had that same experience. I don't think he ever actually shot anything, but he did go hunting. So, but I got to know C and Calvin both, and their family. And Calvin had a way of sort of metering out information. So it's like he's this friend you could have for 20 years that just lets you know enough about him to keep you coming back and asking questions. And getting to know his family a little bit. As I mentioned, C, and he had one of his grandsons in here off and on for a while, and that was kind of fun to come in and see that going on. And just watching the changes in life and learning about his family and learning about him over 20 years or whatever it might have been. I'm going to deeply miss Calvin. So, and again, living in this neighborhood, it's just wonderful to see all the people out and recognizing what an interesting, wonderful man Calvin was. Thank you so much.
Hi, so my dad is actually DJ, and Chu took over the store in 2001 from my parents and retired my parents, and that gave a relief to my parents to be able to, as their health was going down. And Chu has always been part of our family through the years, and I've had kids, and we will come by and visit, and he'll tell my kids to always grab something, help themselves, and be good and study hard, and always encourage them. And I would come by every month and see Chu, and he would always tell me, just like someone mentioned, "What'd you bring me for dinner?" Or like, "When can I come work with you? I want to come work with you." And we would always like talk and joke, and like, he always was there to listen, and he just was always so giving. And this month has been a really hard month because we lost 2 of DJ market owners, and it's really sad that the earth took them both from us so early and so quickly. We lost my mom at the beginning of the year, and we lost Chu, and I know they're both in a better place, and they're looking down and watching over all of us. So, and to the family, we're here for you guys, and anything you need, we're here for you.
Thank you. Do you want it? Gotcha.
I don't know how to conclude.
I just want to say that I've lived here for 1.5 years, like in that valley behind where you are right now. And in that time, Calvin has been like, I think especially one of the only constants in especially COVID. Like when everything is uncertain, he's been one of the only people that have been there to like just stand by us and like show us
things were going to be okay. Part of what that meant was that, like, he supported me through everything, every single thing I've gone through the last year. Calvin, like, cared about everything that I was going through. He, like, in every detail, like, I cared about my life. And I got notified that I was going to get to be a manager, and I didn't get to tell him that the day that he passed. And so I just really have appreciated, I guess, every single thing that he's, like, I mean, I don't think I live alone, and so when I'm thinking about going through COVID, like, I don't think I've seen another person, like, as much as I've seen him. He's been, you know, the person I've seen every day, and he's always had the attitude and cheer that, like, got me through everything, and so it's unbelievable to think that he's gone. I'm just so apologetic to your family and, like, everybody that's mourning this, because he is an incredible human being and he has made a huge impact in this community. I'm grateful to have experienced that, but obviously this is, like, bigger than me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nazir. My wife and I have resided in this neighborhood since 1989. And I remember when the original DJ owned this place. I think he still owns the building, and it was named after him. And then eventually he left, and Chu took over. But I always called him DJ, and he never refused to answer to DJ. And whenever I'd go by, because we just live around the corner now, we used to reside just on the other corner, and whenever I'd go by, I'd always see DJ. And he constantly exercised, or he would do these stretches, and I'd always show up to buy my lotto tickets, and I'd show up when the numbers were big. And one day I showed up about a week ago, and I said, DJ, I had all the numbers. He said, did you have them in one row? And I said, no, but I had all the numbers. So I showed him my combination. I said, if I just went with 2 more lines, I would have been a millionaire. He said, well, let's run your numbers. So we ran it, and I got $7 back. So we were talking about his family, and he said, my kids want me to retire. And I said, and what are you thinking about, DJ? And he says, what am I going to do at home, watch television? And, we were comparing ages, and there's just a year difference between the two of us. And he always looked so healthy, and he was always consistent because he was always happy. I never ever saw him being sad. And I miss seeing C because the two of them used to be together at the beginning, and then she was no longer here. And I asked him, where's C? He said, one day you'll see her. And I didn't expect to see C at this particular point right now. I never anticipated getting the news that I did, and that shocked myself and my wife, and we were really saddened because she would come here and come and pick up her health bars constantly, and I'd always pick up my lotto tickets. And I have a car dealership, and so every time I drive by, he'd wave at me, and it's like, he'd come and look at the new car that I have, and he says, I want this one here, but can you get it with less miles? And I said, I'll try. So, he wanted a Toyota 4Runner, and then he saw me driving this Porsche. He says, I want this car. And I said, but DJ, it's a stick. He said, oh, no, I can't do that. But that's just the way he was. He was just very kind, helpful, loving, and just a constant. You could come in here and always expect a beautiful smile, just like his picture shows. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I don't need this.
Original Sacramento, James and Mark Sams. What do you know, as Calum did around here? Yo. 5 years, in the old folks building, no cane, walker, or golf cart. But them old folks sent me over here 5 or 6 times a day. You got to know Calvin. In 20 years, he must have put almost 3,000 miles jogging in front of his store. And up and down the street. Everything here was, you ask him for something, $5. $1. Dime for a bag. I come in, I've worked places like this in neighborhoods. Aptos, Real Del Mar and stuff. And you get to know the people. Calvin knew everybody. He knew when I wanted smokes, when I wanted cokes. He didn't even have to say anything. This guy knew everything. I know you all loved him, like I did. I've known people all my life. I'm kind of a people person. This is one of the few, on my hands, I can say, this was the most beautiful human being I've ever known. This guy was sweet and cool. And the conversations we had, I can't tell you. But when I worked in the store down on the beach and had, and the women come in, you're like, oh God, like I want to go out with you. And I'd be standing here and I'd tell Calvin, dude, I want to work here. Beautiful women come in here all the time. And he goes, yeah, they're my girlfriends. I saw him within an hour and a half before he passed. Beautiful time with him. We had a good laugh. He knows I'll be back. I don't have a cane walker or a golf cart. And, I got people I got to help out. I love you all for coming and showing the support for one of the greatest guys in one of the nicest neighborhoods I've ever been in. And I'll tell you, this was one of the greatest losses I've had in a long time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Can you fix the mic to bring it up? No, there's a... You have to turn this. No, you gotta turn this.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Yang. Chu is my brother-in-law, married to my older sister. And I want to let you know that I lost my parents. I look at Chu, my brother-in-law, just like a father to me and my family. My sister, my brother, everyone's here. He's a good man, had a good heart. He never yelled my sister, never yelled my nephew, my niece. He is a good husband to my sister. I just want to let you know that I love him so much. I miss him all my life. He is a father to my sister, my brother.
We love
Hi.
you.
Thank you for coming support DJ Market. I am Choose By and my name is C. And my husband is kind of short man, small, but he has a big heart. And he is anybody, if you need something, you ask him, he'll helping you, and he'll be giving anything for you. He knew a lot of people, no matter they don't have it, he said give to them. If you don't have it, you still go borrow it and give to them. That's why he have such good heart for. And I've been married my husband for almost 42 years now. And I know marriage is not perfect, but we all get along pretty good. We never fight, never yell at each other. And he's a very good man to me. And thank you for coming, everyone. I know he's here with us. See that you all love him like as I do. Thank you.
Hi you guys, my name is Susie and I'm the oldest of Chu's children. So I'm not around too much. So like I said earlier, when my sister Lucinda was hugging another sister, I didn't recognize her. My aunt didn't recognize me. I have another aunt who didn't recognize me, so that's how often I come. But every time we do come up here, my husband and I, we will come by see my dad. And my dad is probably one of the most giving and most caring person ever. All my boys love him, especially our 7-year-old. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. Every time we come in, my dad would be like, just grab whatever you want. So my kids would grab whatever they want. And it just recently, the last time we came here, my youngest one go, "Hey Grandpa, can I get a bag?" And so my dad gave her a bag, and my little one just went shopping, and we tried paying for it. My dad refused the payment, so that's just shows you what kind of person he is. He will give you guys whatever you ask for and not expect nothing back, not just from his own kids, but like the community. He gives. He never brags about nothing. If we did something that was good, he would tell don't brag about it. You're not supposed to brag about it. So I just want to say thank you for coming out here. Thank you for supporting him. Thank you for showing us that it's not just us who love him, but the whole community does too. We appreciate everything that you guys have done for us since this happened. It's just been unbelievable. A shock mostly. So thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I am C's younger brother. I just moved up here about 7 years ago, but I want to share some great times with Calvin, as you guys name him. I remember there's one time when I was single, I came up here and I was like, "You guys have the best parties in Sacramento. Let's go clubbing." So when I got to their house, it was around 8:30. I got there and then Calvin came up. "It's time to go to sleep." I looked at his son. I was like, "Hey, you for real?" And he's like, and then his son looked at me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to sleep." That was my best moment when and I keep thinking about that. I was like, why? Because he's always trying to prepare us for our best future.
Yep.
And then when I finally moved up here, I was kind of sketchy because I didn't know a lot of people up here. But his family, they welcomed me. And, he always tell me, "You should love everybody. You don't have a mom and dad anymore. You should love everybody. And you need to show that love to everybody too. Every day. This moment, you gotta cherish it." And he told me that. And then when I heard the news, I was pretty shocked in a way. And then I was upset. So I called his son and I say, don't tell me this is true. And his son said, it's true. I couldn't believe because I lost a brother. He's the brother that no matter what I go through in my childhood life, I was the bad one. And he always showed me love. And that's how I looked at him as a role model. You know, I'm grateful when I came up here and he showed me love to where, you know, I made the best out of my life. And that's how I started to love Sacramento because everybody was so loving. You know, which in my childhood I did not have. Everybody was just, you know, doing their own thing. But when I came up here, I want to tell my sister, I love you guys. Whatever you guys need, I'm here for you guys. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name's Riley. I live just right down the street, and my little Calvin story is that he's always called me Robert. Just kind of funny hearing that everyone didn't know his real name was Chu for the longest time, but he's always called me Robert until about 6 months ago. He heard someone call me Riley, and he asked, "What's your real name?" And I said, well, everyone just calls me, my name's Robert, but everyone calls me Riley. Excuse me. And he said, I'll just call you Robert. And it's just really nice to see everyone out here tonight. Thanks for coming out, everyone.
Thank you. Anybody else on stage? Oh, there's a hat.
You guys want to say anything? Nancy? Thomas?
Hey guys, my name is Long. I'm Chu's youngest son, and you know, I greatly appreciate everyone coming out here and, you know, showing their appreciation, sharing their stories about my father. You know, throughout the years, we always wanted to retire him. You know, it was really tough because, again, he understood that all of us, we had our own life, and he never reinforced us to give him any help. He was the type that never asked for help, and if he was to bleed or to hurt, he would never show that he was hurting. But I guess where I was going was, you know, we wanted to retire him, and I'll always question, why is he at the store working? Why is he so lonely over there? And, you know, the past couple of days coming here and hearing all these stories, I came to a realization that he wasn't lonely. You know, he was out here with his friends and the Midtown community. You know, he loved being out here. I'll tell you the truth, my father, growing up, he lead by, not by, he doesn't lead verbally, but he leads by his actions. He never told us where to go or how to do things. And I looked at him. I just knew what to do because I wanted to make him and my mother proud. You know, when I finished my last test at Sac State, I called him and I cried. I said, "Hey, Dad, I got done my last test." He's like, "What?" I was like, "I got done my last test." And he said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy for you." You know, I did everything for him because I wanted to be like him. You know, I seen how hard he worked. I see how smart he was, and I see how greatly the community treated him. So I'll tell you, you know, he was a smart guy and he was hardworking. I always asked myself, why is he working so hard at the store? But that guy's freaking smart. He wasn't working hard. He was hardly working. You know, he was here hanging out with you guys the whole time. He's a smart guy. So, you know, we do appreciate you guys. Your stories, your affection, all your love that you shared with us today. To me, it truly uplifts my spirit. Because I know that he was loved. And I know that he loved all you guys too. Again, thank you to the Midtown community.
Heartbroken for me. Excuse me. I've been in the family for a long time. I'm the brother-in-law. Over 20 years. Me and my wife are junior high sweethearts. And Dad's been great to me. There's stuff that I have never learned, and Dad showed it to me. Not by word, but like by physical, you know, showing me that, you know, what I'm doing isn't right, pushing me towards the right direction. Me and my wife will often come by, bring him lunch, bring the kids. And the kids loved it there, you know. I would tell them, don't take anything. We'll have to pay Dad later. But, you know, Dad doesn't care. No, they could have that. Go ahead, take it. You know, my father-in-law will really be missed. I appreciate everybody from coming tonight. Thank you guys. It shows me how much he affected this community. And love you, Dad.
Hi, my name's Jeremy, and I'm really not surprised that he touched so many people. I've lived in Midtown for 12 years now. I know a lot of you, once you get into Midtown, it's kind of hard to leave. But for 4 years, I lived right upstairs. And this is honestly the first place that I called home, and he was one of the first people that I called a friend. And even though I haven't lived here for the last 6 years, I've lived, 6 blocks away, which is a mile or 1,000 miles if you live in Midtown. He still recognizes me every time I walk by, when I walk by with my dog. It's just, it was funny because when I first moved, I didn't change my address for like 6 months, and so I kept getting mail to the same mailbox, which these mailboxes are terrible. So Chu would hold them for me, and even 2 years later, he would still ask me, he's like, nope, I don't have any mail for you. So it's like, no, I know you don't have any mail. I finally changed my address. I've already moved like 2 times since then in Midtown. But he was home. He felt like home. Like, Midtown isn't made up of the building that you stay in. It's made up of the people that have touched your lives. And Chew was a part of home. It's when I'd walk down 24th Street and when I'd cross over on I, whether it was just to go to Cornerstone or whatever it might be, watching him jog back and forth, like he was home. And as things kind of change, and they've changed for everybody over the last year, he was a constant, and it's not going to be the same now that he's not here. And honestly, thank you so much for, you know, for everything that he did for me, is from selling me to a pack of smokes to saying not to buy a pack of smokes because he knew I was quitting. So here's to Chew, and honestly to home and to Midtown. Thank you guys.
I don't know if my phone's dead or not. It's still fine. I want to give one more story, just because everybody keeps asking if he's ever gone hunting. As kids, before he started his line of work, we did a lot of fishing, and one of my best moments with him was he got this boat. It was the only time we ever took it out, and we went fishing. I was a tiny little kid, and I reeled in this fish, but my dad saw that I was gonna get pulled overboard. Like, it was a huge striper. I mean, the thing was bigger than I was. He yanked the fishing rod out of my hand, pulled in this fish. I netted it and brought it in. I was like, oh, look, Dad got a fish, right? And we were out there for another hour, and he finally catches that fish, and he pulls in this little 6-inch catfish and stuff. And on the way home, my dad goes, son, tell your mom I caught the big fish. Right? But I couldn't do it. I had some ego in me when I was younger. So right when we parked, I jumped out of the car, jumped into the boat, grabbed the biggest fish and ran to Mom. I was like, Mom, look what I caught. And my dad looked at me, he's like, okay, son, I got you. So last thing I do want to say is this. Like, thank you guys all for really coming out for us. I haven't got the chance to say this, but to the gentleman that found my father, it could have been anybody here, but the family was able to see his final moments because of the security footages and stuff. In my eyes, my father knew that it was his time to go. Okay, he knew. We saw the footage for even a few hours and stuff like that, and he knew it was his time to go. He was doing everything he can to stay awake a minute longer. I saw him chug a Red Bull. I don't think he drinks Red Bull. He was doing everything he can. My theory was, because he knew it was his time to go, there was one person in his life that was the most important, and that was his wife, my mom. And he fought for every extra minute to see her one last time. And he got that chance. He really did, right? My mom was joking about something she said. I overheard a conversation, and she said, honey, do you need anything else from me? And he's like, no, that's fine, just go home. I know she wanted to go to the back. And my mom laughed. But then he walked her out, and that's when we caught his final moments and stuff. But to the gentleman who found him, thank you. If it wasn't for you, I mean, it could have been anybody else. But if it wasn't for you, we would have never known. We would have never known that it was his final moment. We would have all been home, waiting for him to come back home and not knowing what would have happened. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we're going to take this moment for a moment of silence, just to remember his name. Thank you. Oh, sorry, commercial.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, my feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. know, 'cause I need you to see you are the reason. Oh, sorry guys.
No, it should be fine.
I can also hire. I told the